Celebratory news now. Clayton Kershaw getting to 3,000 career strikeouts last night, and it looks like the Dodgers really did it well. It was on his 100th pitch of the evening, and then he's removed from the game. So the timing worked out perfectly with him. They pull off a victory. But what do you think about Clayton Kershaw's career and the fact that despite quite a few injuries in the last several seasons, at 37 years old, he's an effective big league starter and able to pull off an accomplishment that has not just a lot to do with swing and miss, but with longevity?
Absolutely. He is the 20th pitcher to reach 3,000 strikeouts and only the 4th left-hander. That's the key thing here for me. Of course, in our sport, like in life, right-handers are dominant. So left-handed pitchers face more right-handed hitters than left-handed, and it makes it that much more difficult. We've got Sabathia, we've got Randy Johnson, Steve Carlton, and now Clayton Kershaw. It was a beautiful moment last night, the kind only baseball can give us. The called strike three was kind of amazing. But, of course, they had the situation, too, with Max Muncy, who had just gotten hurt, his knee, a couple of plays before, and that kind of, at least in my mind, sort of cast a pall on it. We're going to learn more about Muncy today. He is going for an MRI. It did not look good. Obviously, he's a huge player for the Dodgers. He's had a huge resurgence. But the story was Kershaw. And just to see him persevere through, as you said, major surgeries, all kinds of difficulties, and to reach this point and to see him accomplish this at home, it was indeed special. And of course, Scott, it raises the question, is this guy the last pitcher to reach 3,000? Will he be the last one? And Andy McCullough, my colleague at The Athletic, wrote a book titled The Last of His Kind about Kershaw, and it might prove to be absolutely the case that he is the last of his kind. I want to show you the list of active strikeout leaders beyond Kershaw. I'm not counting Verlander and Scherzer here. These are the guys who might have a chance to get to 3,000. Chris Sale, if healthy, certainly a shot. 225 strikeouts just last year. Then Garrett Cole, then Charlie Morton, Yu Darvish, and Kevin Gausman. I don't expect any of them to necessarily get there. Cole would have the best chance. Charlie's near the end of his career. Yu, who knows when he'll even pitch again. He's supposedly on the comeback trail. And Gausman's just a little bit away, or a lot away, I should say. So it's a unique accomplishment. It's something that will help define Kershaw going forward. As Fabian Ardaya wrote in The Athletic today, it's another sentence on his Hall of Fame plaque. And again, to see the celebration last night and just the electricity in the crowd, it was coming through your television. That was very cool.
Yeah, when it comes to the names that you were just alluding to, it's hard to see anything past Chris Sale. I mean, and that really depends on how long Chris Sale wants to go. He is still pitching in the prime of his career, you have to call it. He's just not able to stay on the field consistently for the last 5-6 seasons, Ken. But he's got the stuff to be able to create enough swing and miss for what I think is at least another few years. It's just a matter of how much longer he wants to go and will his body hold up. Sale is out right now, which kind of glides it all in Scotty Braun. And let's start with questions from Chat BCC. It's a free chat app. You go to foulterritory.chat. foulterritory.chat, totally free. Join the conversation. This is where we're picking up a lot of our questions. So we're not just getting questions live during the show. It could be before, after, etc. We've got some good ones. So let's start with Darius. We know Kershaw is the best pitcher of this generation, but where does he rank among left-handed all-time pitchers after 3,000 strikeouts? I think he gave us 2 questions in there, Ken, if you want to answer them both.
Well, I would say he's arguably the best pitcher of this generation. He's right there with Verlander and Scherzer. You can slice it any way you'd like. The best left-hander of all time question is a really interesting one because, of course, the sport spans generations. So guys like Lefty Grove and Sandy Koufax, Steve Carlton, they all pitched in different eras. This era has been one in which it's been difficult for pitchers to stay healthy, and yet they've enhanced their abilities through outside sources and all kinds of ways, pitch design, all different things that have kind of given pitchers an edge. And you have to look at it in that context as well. But I certainly would say that Kershaw ranks among the greatest left-handers of all time. That is fair to say.
The bat, but I do think he could help this team. He's kind of a solid all-around player. Change of scenery would probably help him as well. It's more a matter of, do we think the Rockies will part with a guy who they signed long-term? They operate a little bit more or a lot more mom and pop shop and say, oh, I like this guy. Let's keep him, even though he could make us better long-term if we trade him.
The question is the Rockies, as you said, Scott. Will they move? I don't know. They are a team that is the only team in the Mountain Time Zone. They are a team that seems to operate in an insular way, kind of removed from the rest of the industry. It's weird, honestly. And they're a team that needs some change. No question about that. Will the current general manager, Bill Schmidt, under the current ownership, be in position or prepared to make that change with a guy like McMahon, institute a series of changes, trade some other people as well? I tend to doubt it based on their track record, but I am sure that Brian Cashman will at least be calling Bill Schmidt and saying, hey, what about McMahon?
Yep. Man, I mean, they got a lot of work to do. I hope so. All right, let's do one more. Let's take this one from the YouTube chat, and it's an all-star question. Mike G, what was your decision in putting Freddie Freeman ahead of Michael Busch? Oh, I saw this question yesterday from Mike on your NL All-Star team, despite Busch having better overall numbers. Now, I'm guessing he's going by OPS plus, and I know in Baseball Reference where he's got the edge now over Freddie. He said, I didn't see it specified in your article, so just curious.
I didn't specify it in my article, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I'm not going to get too deep into that. It's difficult to do live here, but it's Freddie Freeman. And I know Cubs fans are outraged. I didn't have Busch on there. I didn't have Suzuki on there. I didn't have Boyd on there. Please. Everybody's going to get there eventually. We all know this. The guys who need to get there are going to get there. So Michael Busch certainly is having a really good year, and he's a really good player. Is he Freddie Freeman in terms of status yet in the game? No. And Freddie Freeman has had a really good year as well. Maybe not to his normal standards, but I believe his OPS is getting up around 900 again, or is around 900. Not like he's embarrassing himself. So I would just say I can't give a detailed answer here, but I had my reasons.
One quick follow on this too, Ken. If the numbers are close enough, right? And it's not like, there's massive separation. Do you factor in pedigree? Do you factor in last season, right? Because you could be a second half superstar and really get dinged in all-star voting. It has a lot to do with how players perform in the first half, but also there's a popularity contest and a pedigree component to it. Did you factor that in?
Yeah, I just took a quick look. Busch is at 52% above league average, OPS plus. Freddie's at 47%. I mean, that's really close. And it's so close where I would go with the bigger name. It's the All-Star game. It's an entertainment vehicle. No disrespect to Michael Busch. He'll have his day. He's a really good player. And maybe Freddie bows out for one reason or another, and Michael Busch gets there anyway. So to me, when it's that close, and it is that close, I will go with the bigger name. All right, we're going to take one more fan question before we sign off for today. Let's see what we got here, and we'll take it right about now. This one comes from Renato Yepes, who asked, do you see the Dodgers making a move if Muncy is lost for the rest of the season? Excellent, timely question, Renato. And certainly, if you watched that play last night, you had to be concerned. If you watched his reaction, the way he was helped off the field, the Dodgers broadcast would not even show the replay because they, in their minds, felt it was not something that fans should see. It was that bad. So it's certainly fair to wonder how that MRI is going to turn out for Muncy today. And yes, I would think that if indeed he is out for the season, they might look to do something. Now, remember, they've got Kike Hernandez. They've got all kinds of options that they can turn to. That's the beauty of the Dodgers. They're versatile. Miguel Rojas is on the roster. And with Kim, you can do some other things as well. But the Dodgers being the Dodgers, if Muncy is lost, that's a big power bat. And I would think that they would try to maybe look at some other options for sure. All right, I want to thank everyone for watching. AJ Przinsky and Eric Kratz joined Scott Braun hosting Foul Territory next. Dodgers Territory follows Foul Territory, and then Fair Territory returns on Monday. Thanks everyone for watching, for listening. Have a great 4th of July weekend.